Okay, today I've got a couple of eBay scores, and I've got an SK 3870 3/8 swivel head that does work. It's rusty, and I don't know. We'll take it apart, see what's good, what needs to be replaced, see if we can find parts for it, and go from there. This is kind of cool because it swivels. So if you've got, you can torque on something, but if it's kind of, down into place, you can get at it because this will give you, you can rotate it, or you can get in there and you can spin it this way. So that's kind of cool. You don't really see these anymore. I don't really know how I'm going to get this circlip off because I don't have the right tool for that. Still kind of thinking about that, like how I'm going to do that. So there's the knurling on the handle is still pretty good, but it's rusty. The stamping, USA patent number, and on the other side, SK 3870. The finish on it's okay. It's got some rust in places. I'm hoping that when I get this apart, I can throw this in the evaporust and it'll clean up and it'll look pretty good. So let's get this apart if we can. So there's a fastener in here. I think it was probably an Allen key, but it looks like this has been, somebody's been in here before. The head on this is kind of wallered out, so I don't know if it's supposed to be a Torx or an Allen, but I have a T25 bit on a screwdriver, and that actually fits in here quite nicely. So I'm going to take that out. And what that does is that opens up, it widens this gap here, and this is loose now and out of focus. So, alright, so I got this fastener out. It's got kind of a wedge shape out here, which is kind of interesting. And now that that is out, the gap between the two parts is widened to the point, right now. Okay. So now this is loosey-goosey. So I wonder how hard I can pry on this to get this out. I'm a little nervous. And there's a little washer that was in between. Okay, so I got the rotating head out, and it's got two small shims, one on either side. So I don't want to lose those. It's going in my small parts bin. One from each side. So that's the ratcheting head. This is basically like a little palm ratchet. It's kind of cool. So here's the handle, and it's kind of gross. In the gap there's like all kinds of dirt and debris, so I'm gonna brush that. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yum. Alright, so I'm gonna throw this in the evaporust too. Okay, now this is where it gets tricky. I wonder if I should have done the circlip first, because now I have less to hold on to. so what I'm trying to do is get, I don't know, the lighting isn't great. I have to pinch this little tab. There's another one. There's one on each side. I gotta pinch those two tabs together so that I can pull this stuff out. And I'm sure there's a tool for that. I just don't have it. I have these bent needle nose pliers, but they're a little bit too wide. Like the tips are too wide to get in there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to clamp this in my vise on the two ears right here and see if that frees my hands up a little bit. Does the zoom work? Yes, but not very well. Enhance. Enhance. To cut all that out. Okay. You guys can't see, but I can. Alright. So I'm going to try to pinch these two tabs together. Whoa! Thought I was going to die just then. Of course, this is now rotating. Crap. I really don't want to clamp that too hard because I don't want to like crack the chrome. Not that it's that nice anymore, but see if I can use my beer belly. I'm going to put a little WD-40 in here in the gap between the inner piece and the outer case, so that way as I finally get the circlip pinched in all the way, hopefully this should come out more easily. Engage safety squints. Come on. Felt like it was starting. I'm going to think about this and probably buy a tool. Okay, I need to apologize. Somehow I forgot to film me successfully getting this apart, and I did end up buying a tool. I bought these channel lock number, you can't see, but it's number 927. They are a interior, exterior circlip plier, and they came with different size tips. So I used these to pinch those tabs in order to extract the inner parts. And I got that. It only took me like 3 tries with these. So these are like 20 bucks, and they're made in the USA. And if you ever work on something that has one of these evil circlips, do yourself a favor and just spend $20 and get a pair of these, because it's just not worth the aggravation of trying to goof around with a couple of screwdrivers like I was. You don't have to buy the $20 USA made ones. You can find cheaper Chinesium ones for less. And I'm sure those are fine if you're only going to use them once. But I try to buy USA made whenever I can. So that's how I got this apart. Somehow I forgot to turn the camera on when I did that, so my apologies. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming. Okay, so everything has been soaking for about 18 hours in the evaporest, and I've brushed it with a brass bristle brush, and it looks really nice. Came out pretty darn good. I'm happy with that. Evaporust works really well. I can't really say enough for it. It's awesome. So here are the components of the ratchet head. So you have this part that the socket attaches to, along with the selector for forward or reverse, and there's the teeth that engage on the inside of the swivel head. There's two washer shims, I guess, that go between, that go like this, that go over the little dog or boss that goes into the hole on the swivel head, or the ratchet handle, I should say. And then the spring clip, circlip, that holds everything together. So I'm going to see if I can assemble this right the first time, so I don't have to take it apart again. We'll find out together. Alright, so this is the selector knob that you twist on the back of this. That's got to go on here. So that goes here. And I'm going to kind of set it to the middle position so it's not really in, forward, or reverse, because as you rotate, if I can get this to focus, I'll show you. As you rotate this, the teeth on the pawl rotate out to one side or the other, and it catches, so it doesn't fit in here nicely. So in the center, it drops right in that in-between position. All right. So in goes the selector. Now it's in there. Now, I don't know if I should oil or grease this. Didn't seem to have any grease in it when I took it apart, so I'm not going to put grease in it now that it's going back together. But I have sprayed everything with WD-40, and I'm going to put a little light 3-in-1 oil on everything just to keep it nice and smooth. So I'm going to put a little oil on the inside here, the teeth. I'm going to put extra in, knowing that it's going to weep out. I'd rather have a little extra than not enough. Just drop that selector knob in there. Put that in. Now it rotates nicely. You can hear it. And I can already tell that I've got the order of operations wrong. Because I have to get this in there. So I've got some bent needle nose. These things scare me because they go flying into your eyeball. It's like a ticking time bomb. So I have to, all right. Okay, so I need to rotate this so that it'll slide up. So this slides, sorry, framing is off. I need this to be up so I can get that ring clip into the groove that holds everything in place. This is going to be hard to get on camera. There it goes. Gone. Alright, I'm going to take 20 minutes and go look for that. Well, I got lucky. I found it. Nope. Okay. Alright, I gotta get it squeezed. Oh, like that. Wow. Well, that actually went a lot easier than I thought it would. So I got the clip in there. Just make sure it's centered. Rotate the selector, changes direction. All right. I'll put these little kind of curved, they're dished, they're not flat. If I can get it to focus, doesn't matter. And that just goes over one on each side, like that. And then I gotta get this wedged in here. Now, if your dad was anything like mine, he always told you screwdrivers are not for prying. So, Dad, look away. I'll do this off camera so no one can see what I'm doing. Now, I'm just going to stick the blade of the screwdriver in the gap between in this cut here and rotate just to pry it open. Okay, so that's allowed me to get it back in the handle. That's quite loose, but that's what this screw is for, this fastener I should say. That goes in, there's a bored hole on this side and a threaded hole on this side. So this slides through the bored hole into the threaded side, and then that you tighten that down to adjust your tension. Again, I'm going to err on the side of more lubrication is better. So I'm actually going to loosen that up just a bit, and I'm going to put a drop of oil on either side here. Sorry for the focus, just to help. Smooth things out. Alright, and I'll tighten that back up. Yeah, that feels good. Twist our selector, turn it, now it goes the other way. Alright. That wasn't too bad. So that's it, folks. It's all back together. I don't have a clever outro or anything like that. This is just a tool that's ready to go back in the toolbox. I'm excited. I've always wanted one of these swivel head ratchets. I got a pretty fair deal on this on eBay, considering the condition it was in. These go for around $40 to $65, depending on condition. I got lucky and paid less than that for this one. And I also forgot, when I put this back together, there's a washer that goes in here. I forgot to film that or to mention that. Once I kind of cleaned up, I realized that I had an extra part, which was that washer. So that's in there, and that prevents you from over tightening this and not getting good swivel action. If you're still watching this, thank you. I appreciate that. I enjoy making these videos. For me, it's fun for me. I understand that not everybody wants to stick around and watch me fight with a pair of screwdrivers and just to clean up an old tool, but if you stuck around, I appreciate it, and I would really appreciate a subscription. I have lots of project videos planned, and if you like old tools, then you're like me, and I like to rescue them. I hate to see a quality tool rusting away or abused. They just don't make them like this anymore, and if I can put this back in my toolbox instead of the scrap pile, then it's a good day. So consider subscribing if you like this sort of thing. If you don't like this sort of thing, why are you still here? Maybe it's my sultry voice, or my incredibly handsome hands. All right, I'm sorry. Don't worry, I'm going to cut all this out.